Welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, May 12th, 2023. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Nurses and others in the medical field here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines today joined the global community in celebrating International Nurses Day under the theme, Our Nurse, Our Future. As part of activities held here to commemorate the day, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment hosted a health exhibition and a nursing showcase at the Old Treasury Car Park. At the showcase, various services provided by nurses in the healthcare system were highlighted.
Today we are representative of the foot health practitioner celebrating International Nurses Day. My name is Sister Janice Oliver Crease.
Good afternoon. It's such a historic occasion for us. My name is Sister Petra Davis. As we celebrate International Nurses Day, we are truly blessed and thank God for His grace and for His mercy for bringing us thus far as we continue to do our best for our profession. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Elfrida Joseph Jardine Leonti, foot health practitioner, currently assigned to Cedars and Maricopa District. I want to say Happy International Nurses Day to all the nurses in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and throughout the whole world.
We have our lifting devices that we also use for practice also. These are recent equipment that we obtained after training in Taiwan. Nurses obtained. Yes, they're in use. It has made the difference because we're well equipped now. We can better practice CPR, better our skills. We have training with the AED. We have training in lifting and moving patients.
Okay, so today is International Nurses Day, which we celebrate on the 12th, and today we are showcasing the work of our nurses. So in my section, which relates to the family nurse practitioner, this is a small sample of what we do. So here we're having things displayed on asthma, because we also do the asthma clinic. We also, this section shows some of the instruments that we do use in our assessments, because generally we do things like complete physical assessments and so on. So these are some of the varying equipments that we will use in our practice as a family nurse practitioner. And here we have some leaflets, and we have some of the things that we use in the area of school health. We will normally, go to the grade 6 students and do their physical assessments. We'll check their eyes, do their weight and height. And so these are some of the things that we would use. And we also do the
breastfeeding to our new mothers, especially our primary grandmother. So we are using these to demonstrate how they can breastfeed and express milk and stuff like that. So we put this here. Okay. Show them how to position the baby when they're breastfeeding. So this is our model that we use to demonstrate breastfeeding.
Uniforms worn by nurses, including nursing students over the years, were also highlighted at today's showcase.
Shorter apron with a lovely black belt and love. She's wearing an all-grey dress worn by the ward sister. She has graduated and she is now a staff nurse. And I see matron. Do we still have matrons? No. I see matron, and our matron is Shekinah Carter. No navy pants, black shoe, and it's a tiller, handsome, professional. Maxine is wearing white dress with tucks. Jamal is light blue shirt, navy blue pants, navy blue or black shoes. No headpiece, wear blue, navy blue, just approved with bottom, done
They seem to have a wonderful time. Happy International Nurses Day to them. And the SVG Bureau of Standards is carrying out inspection across St. Vincent and the Grenadines to ensure that the recalled Advil products are not being sold and used by people in the country. Inspector 3 with the SVG Bureau of Standards, Zania Thomas, told SVG-TV News in a telephone interview that a voluntary recall on certain over-the-counter Advil products was made by the US-based company Family Dollar due to the improper storage of the product.
So normally when we have a recall, the SVGBS inspectors, they go out, we do market surveillance. Market surveillance is where we basically go out to different general stores, supermarkets, pharmacies, and we basically capture the information of the recalled product. In this case, it's the Advil products. We did market surveillance yesterday in and around Kingston, and we got as far as Rattlemill. On the Windward side, we haven't done anything on the Leeward side as yet, but emails were sent to different supermarkets, pharmacies, and general stores, so they also can capture the information and see if they have any recalled products in their storage.
Urging persons to be vigilant when purchasing Advil products, Thomas said. They are also encouraging persons to view the Facebook page of the SVG Bureau of Standards to see the recalled products which are identified by their batch numbers.
So there are different batch. We use the batch number or the lot number of the product, and those generally come from the manufacturer. So the manufacturer sends or issues those batch number, lot number that consumers, retailers can look out for. So the SVGBS inspectors are obviously doing their market surveillance, capturing the information, but we are urging the public to still check their products at home. If they have Advil products, to check and ensure that they don't have the recalled product. And we are asking them to be vigilant when purchasing the Advil product as well. We have information on our Facebook page, our Instagram, and our official website. They can always go take a look, read, ensure that the product, as I said before, they don't have it, and be vigilant when purchasing.
To date, the US-based company Family Dollar said it is not aware of any consumer complaints or reports of illness related to the recalled, which applies to products stored and shipped to certain stores on or around June 1st, 2022 through March 31st, 2023. In other news now, we heard that in celebration of National Blindness Awareness Month, the National Society of and for the Blind today hosted a march and rally in capital Kingston. The march started at French's Gate and ended inside of the old public library yard where the rally was held. The activity was held to bring further awareness to the public concerning persons living with blindness in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In an interview with SVG-TV News, members of supported organizations of the National Society of and for the Blind explained more about their partnership, which they say is a blessing.
It's to bring awareness, to let people to realize that persons with disabilities, they are people too, and they need people like all of us need one another. We have to look out for them because we never know what can happen to us too. Because I read some time ago that everyone, regardless to who we are, everybody have a disability, and because of this we have to look out for one another. In our church, the Seventh Adventist Church, we call it the Possibility Ministries, because everybody, where there's a possibility, where there's a disability, there's a possibility. We can live with whatsoever we have, do anything with whatsoever we have, and make life better for us. As disability is not an inability, it's an ability to move on.
This is what group is here?
Okay, we are the Seventh-day Adventists. We represent the Seventh-day Adventist Church. There is a department or ministry of our church that we call Possibility Ministries, and we are looking at helping those who are living with disabilities. Well, they are differently abled, as we would like to call it. They are to be loved, they are to be treasured, and we believe that God has a purpose for them, and so we are happy to partner with them.
Today we celebrate with our sister organization with their march for the month of May is celebrated as Blind Awareness Month. So as persons with disabilities, we have to support each other when we can, and to see today that an event like this can come off truly means that persons with disabilities are still around, and given the opportunity will do what they know to do and do it to the best of their ability.
And during the rally, a 52-year-old lady recalled the day she lost her sight.
Last year, my mother took in with stroke, and my niece called me and she said to me, "Auntie, we don't want you as a night nurse because we on night shift at the hospital. Can you make it?" I said, "Yes, in Jesus' name. There is no one such like him." And there I went. And my walk, the last walk was last year, August. Coming down to the end of August last year when I celebrate my 51 years of birthday. I get up the morning after prayer with my mother. I feel my stomach was not mine, and I start to vomit. And after I done vomit, my sight went. And then I called to my little daughter, she's 10 years old now, and I said, "Angel, I'm not seeing." And then my son started to scream. You know, everyone started to scream, and I said, "Listen, God is in control. I am not giving up. I am not giving up. He's there fighting my battle because I alone cannot fight it. And I'm not giving up. All I want you to do is to take me to the hospital." And when I went to leave Latham Health Center, I could not have walked. I cannot sit down. My sight is not there. But I'm still keeping on the man Jesus. Because he who given me the strength each day of my life.
The two temporary Bailey bridges installed at Overland and Noel in the North Windward constituency were officially opened on Thursday afternoon at a ceremony at the Overland Bridge. The bridges were constructed under the Volcanic Eruption Emergency Project VEEP with funding from the World Bank and the European Union. At the opening ceremony, engineer for the VEEP project, Narissa Fogus, provided an overview of the bridges, noting that the impact of the volcanic eruption in 2021 resulted in damage to homes and other infrastructure in the area, and the bridges at Overland and Noel and a third to be constructed at London Sandy Bay were identified among the priority projects to reduce the country's physical vulnerability to adverse natural events and build resilient to current and future climatic changes.
These bridges would be used to maintain continuous access from one village to another. In order to facilitate the construction of these permanent bridges, and as an immediate response to the residents' need after the disruption of the traffic flow and everyday living caused by flash floods resulting from heavy rains, producing blockages at the river fords and river crossings from Grabaca to Sandy Bay, the Ministry of Transport and Work, in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, constructed two temporary road crossings, one at Noel and the other at Overland. To complement these bypasses, traffic signs and handrails were installed as precautionary measures for its users. Storm drains were inserted to control the flow of the natural runoff, and green areas, not so green this time around, were added as a touch to break up the concrete and steel used in the construction. The project includes the construction of 2 abutments on either side of the bridge at each location, with connecting grouted rubble pack wing walls made from the same local river stones, the installation of 2 Bailey bridges, and the construction of approach roads on the northern and southern end of the bridges.
Fergus noted that the construction and installation of the bridges were not without its challenges.
Persons living close to the riverbanks had to be relocated to the new Orange Hill community, and the structures demolished to facilitate the construction. Fruit trees and flower beds were uprooted in the process, for which the owners were well compensated. On several occasions, works were halted due to the invasion of the flood waters, overflowing the riverbanks, depositing huge boulders, debris, and sediments that destroyed sections of the work that were already or partially completed, particularly during the construction of the footings for the abutments in the foundation stage. At Noel, the abutment was raised an additional 3 feet to accommodate the water flow and the amount of deposits that were left behind. After each flash flood, the cleanup was always a challenge, but luckily, Braxa was always there to the rescue. Keeping the existing access while construction was going on was another challenge. The already narrowed, steep only access in and out of North Windward was made at times impossible to facilitate the movement of heavy equipment to assemble the bridge, and at times for the pouring of concrete. A key component to the construction of these bridges was the river defense wall and river training, which was conducted by OECC Group under the management of the Ministry of Transport and Works. These provided added control of the water flow and protected the abutments. These river trainings and river walls for protection is ongoing.
According to the engineer, the 3 permanent bridges to be constructed at Overland, Noel and London will serve as part of the Windward Highway Road network. Meanwhile, Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Information Technology, Camila Gonzalez, said after the volcanic eruption in 2021, it needed a clear vision to get St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and particularly the people of the red zone, which included those in North Windward, back on their feet.
And once the vision was crafted, then the money came in. Then we were able to cost it and say, this is how much everything will cost, and this is how much money we need. And once we understood what we needed, that is when the Prime Minister contacted the World Bank and said, we need an emergency project, something called the VEEP, the Volcanic Eruption Emergency Project. And we put together a package of $40 million to help get the red zone and the country back on its feet after those volcanic eruptions. It included over $7.5 million in income support. I know a lot of people here know either themselves or family members who got monthly income support from the government to help them during those difficult times. There was ash cleaning when you saw the bulldozers and the backhoes of Braxa and other companies pushing ash off the roads. That was done not for free, but with money that we had gotten because of this vision. There's repairs that have to be done to agricultural labs, to the biotechnology center, support to farmers, livestock that was lost in the volcanic eruptions. All of those things cost money, and we had to get the money out of this VEEP program. We gave money, over $5 million to the CWSA to make sure that we create more secure water sources for the people of Oya and Sandy Bay and Fancy, so that the next time something happens, volcano hurricane, flood, other natural disaster, your water supplies will not be disrupted in the way that they were disrupted during these volcanic eruptions.
Minister Gonzalez said houses were also provided to the displaced persons in the red zone. On the temporary Bailey bridges, Minister Gonzalez said though they are expected to last for at least 50 years, they will not wait for that time to have them replaced with permanent bridges.
As we speak, even while we are opening this bridge, this temporary bridge, designing the permanent bridges that will go across London and Noel and Overland. And those bridges are being designed permanently as well. You see how we put the thing together? You don't wait for a permanent bridge to be built. You build the temporary one to make sure people are safe going back and forth. And then once we have our designs done for the permanent bridge, we will replace the temporary with the permanent and even make your driving experience better than it will be once these bridges are opened. The Deputy Prime Minister also came to us, came to me as the Minister of Finance and said where we had planned to replace the secondary school after the volcano, he said we ain't want a location again because of how the ash came down and damaged that facility. He said we want a brand new state-of-the-art secondary school for the people of Sandy Bay and surrounding areas. And when it is built, it must be one of the best secondary schools anywhere in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we took that vision to heart as well. And you will hear more. Today's not about the school, today's about the bridge. But you will hear more about the school as well in the very near future. So when you think about it, houses, schools, income support, support to farmers, educational opportunities, infrastructure, road cleaning, road clearing, and bridges, you realize what we're standing here at is not just a bridge, but it is a part of a package of initiatives over $40 million designed to lift up the people of this community and put St. Vincent and the Grenadines back on the path to progress.
And Member of Parliament for North Windward, Montgomery Daniel, told the gathering that it is the first time in his life with the bridges now in place that he is not fearful to travel from Kingston to his home in Sandy Bay, whether it is sun or rain.
I can stand firm in traveling. I believe the only time we should fear is if we hear any such comments coming from any pastor or preacher by the name of Noah, and the boat is being built. That is the only time I will show any level of fear in me. And so,
in any case, you will be one of the two. You're one of the two human beings who going on. You and your wife.
But I want to say to you that today I'm very happy. And the constituents of North Windward indeed is very happy at this historical moment. For today, May the 11th, 2023, the constituency of North Windward turns another chapter in its historic development. Why? For today, 2 bridges that would have been built by this government, this administration, and under the representation of Montgomery Daniel, today, these 2 bridges are open to the general public of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Noting that the Ministry of Transport and Works has identified in its database some 21 river crossings in the North Windward constituency, Minister Daniel said successive governments did very little or show little respect to the constituency in terms of roads accessibility.
To be fair, historically, the Joshua administration, in its respect for its people, made improvements to Cayo River, Caro River, both rivers are in Sandy Bay, and Comoco River. Those were done in the early 1960s. And the Cato administration did similar work at the Oria Big River, and that was done in the early 70s. Since then, no other improvement would have been done to any river crossing within the constituency of North Windward. Not until the ULP administration came to government in 2001, work started. I also want to indicate that during that period of time, man's basic need for survival was challenging. And the existing natural forest was continuously denuded, and as a result, causing increased runoff downstream. So when there was heavy rainfall, the rivers ran thunderously, and accessibility was seriously challenged, where movement between villages was virtually non-existent until such voluminous waters had subsided.
And Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who delivered a feature address at the opening ceremony yesterday, said between the two bridges they have spent $3.5 million.
Each of the bridges cost, the bridges themselves, the Bailey bridges, around $700,000 each. And one of the contracts is 1.064 million, and the second contract is 1.25 million. And if you do the math, you will see we are in the region, in fact, not 3.5 but 3.7 million. Now, when we were going to build these Bailey bridges, I heard the opposition say, I don't want a Bailey bridge, I want a permanent bridge. You remember that talk? Ignorant talk. People who don't understand the simplest things, but they open them out on them. Why? Because fake news. They get a momentary headline from Facebook, and other people join with them. Yeah, we don't want no Bailey bridge, we want a permanent bridge. Well, if we had gone for permanent bridge, you still will be designing the permanent bridge. I wouldn't have this to drive on. You hear what I'm telling you?
In other news now, we hear that 5 Ascension businesses have been awarded grant funding in Cohort 2 of the Eastern Caribbean Green Entrepreneurship Initiative Incubator Program. Following 12 weeks of intense virtual training, mentorship and coaching, green entrepreneurs across 6 OECS countries, namely Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, participated in a business plan competition for a chance to secure US $10,000 in seed funding. During a virtual graduation ceremony held on Thursday, May 11, 2023, it was announced that a total of 11 businesses from the participating countries were successful in securing seed funding to develop their potential and showcase innovative solutions to tackle climate change while enhancing sustainability in the region. The winning businesses from St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the corresponding awards are as follows. Sub-edibles by Shimura McNeil, Bradley Douglas and Amanda Moses. A Reuben Retreat by Leslie Charles and Relita Lewis. Vermin Gold by Michael Hazel. Grenadines Gold by Lavon King and Chevron John. The Plant Doctor by Godwin Shallow, Risha Shallow, and Sienna Godwin, who also was awarded Top Performer and Best Video Pitch. All the winners will receive seed grant funding of $10,000. The application period for the third cohort of the EC Green Entrepreneurs Incubator Program closed on April 10, 2023. Applications are now being invited for the Eastern Caribbean Green Entrepreneurs Accelerators interest-free loans, which offer up to $50,000 to fund innovative green businesses. The Eastern Caribbean Green Entrepreneur Program is funded by the Qatar Fund for Development and is being implemented by the Global Green Growth Institute in partnership with the OECS Commission and business support organizations throughout the OECS. The Center for Enterprise Development, Inc. is the partner business support organization for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And finally, on the local scene now, mothers across St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be celebrated this weekend for their impact in the lives of their children and others on Mother's Day, to be observed on Sunday, May 14, 2023. In celebration of the day, some students of the Fair Hall Government School share with SVG-TV News how much they love their moms.
Happy Mother's Day, and I love you. Mommy, I want to tell you that I love you, and I'm glad how you hope for me every day and you day by me every day. She had taught me do not go out, and when I going out by shops, tell her. When I going out anyway, to tell her.
Mommy?
I love my mommy because she loves and cares for me. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you when you have a good day. I'm happy once you have a good day.
Happy Mother's Day in advance to all the mothers across St. Vincent and the Grenadines.